So let's move on to, oh my God, this story is wild. This story is absolutely bananas. I saw this yesterday and it blew my mind. So I'll just read the article. The radicalized son of a CIA director was killed last year while allegedly fighting for Russia in Ukraine. According to a new investigation, Michael Alexander Gloss, the 21-year-old son of the CIA's deputy director for digital innovation, Galina Gloss, and a Navy veteran father, was killed on the front lines after enlisting in the Russian army, according to a lengthy investigation by independent Russian outlet Important Stories. Gloss's obituary said his fiercely beautiful life was taken from us during his travels overseas on April 4th, 2024, without detailing exactly how. With his noble heart and warrior spirit, Michael was forging his own hero's journey when he was tragically killed in Eastern Europe, the obit said. Before leaving on his travels, Gloss shared images of him giving the finger to the White House and also video of a burning flag. Border Service data showed that he crossed into Russia via Georgia in August 2023, sending photos of his adventures to a group chat of friends in the Rainbow Family, a loose-knit counterculture hippie group, according to Important Stories. That September, Gloss appeared in Russia's Unified Medical Information and Analytical Systems of Moscow, where his address was listed as a medical examination room at an army contract recruitment point on Yablokova Street. The same address given to foreign mercenaries who arrive in Moscow to join Russian forces in the Ukrainian conflict, according to the report. So this is the bombs. Julianne Galina Goss. A selfie snapped by a Nepalese volunteer at the Avant-Garde training center in Moscow appears to show Gloss in military fatigues and a red keffiyeh. A video posted by another Nepalese man shows Michael shaved bald at the facility, posing with fellow soldiers. Michael's training group, which consisted mainly of Nepalese nationals, was eventually bused to their military unit, the 137th Ryazan Airborne Regiment. Video from the bus ride appears to show Gloss wearing his keffiyeh. After arriving at the training unit, Gloss made an account on the Russian social media website Odna blah blah blah, where his profile photo shows him lying down in the red keffiyeh in a bunk bed that looks identical to those seen in videos posted by his Nepalese comrades, according to the investigation. A fellow soldier on the 137th Ryazan Airborne Regiment who knew Michael well said the American had his own vision of how he could be useful at the front. Yeah, his own vision of how he could be useful at the front. Yeah, if you're an American traveling to, especially an American who's the son of a diplomat and the CIA director, right? You're wealthy, you're well off, you're never going to be homeless or have to worry about anything like that. Um, if you're going to go to Russia and then enlist for Russia to fight against Ukraine, yeah, you're gonna have your own vision, his own vision of how he could be useful at the front. AKA, he thought he was Rambo and that he was invincible and that this was all a big game, basically. He studied construction and engineering in college, so all his thoughts were connected with inventions and innovations. The soldier who went by Peter told Important Stories. Gloss confirmed to his Rainbow Family friends that he was in Russia on December 19th, but made no mention of his military activity after not speaking in the group chat for 2 months, the report said. That same month, Peter said Gloss was sent to the assault units. Parts of the 137th Regiment were deployed northwest of Soledar in the Donetsk region at that time, according to Important Stories. Gloss last logged into Telegram on March 14th, 2024, 2 weeks before the 137th Airborne Regiment began an offensive on Ukrainian positions. While the exact circumstances of Michael's death are unknown, it was on the same day as the 106th Division, which includes Gloss's regiment, posted on Telegram that its paratroopers were continuing their offensive push in Donetsk in the face of poor conditions and unfavorable positions. So that seems consistent with what I've heard. There's this meme going around that like Russia treats its soldiers sort of like it treated its soldiers in World War II. And in World War II, they really sent them in the meat grinder, right? They just fucking send them by waves into machine guns. And they didn't have enough equipment, so they'd send one guy with a rifle and then his buddy with the ammo to pick up the rifle whenever he died. That really did happen back in World War II. And I think it seems like there is sort of a more willingness to for Russia to uh, use its human capital. I'm going to use corporate speak here for a second. Just send people to die basically in riskier types of missions. They seem more willing to do that than the Ukrainians, which makes sense. Strategically, I guess that makes sense, as well as like it just fits the. It seems consistent with what I've heard that they're not the best at protecting their frontline people, and they're not the best at putting them in the best positions. And that's, for the most part, why there's been a slightly higher death toll on the Russian side than the Ukrainian side. Julianne Galina Gloss was appointed to the CIA's Deputy Director for Digital Innovation in February 2024, just weeks before her son's death. She did not respond to messages Friday. She graduated from the United States Naval Academy in 1992 and became the first female commander of the Academy's Cadet Corps. She spent the next 30 years working in intelligence and technology, both with the military and as a civil servant. Her husband, blah, 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 I don't care about what he did. Michael Gloss's funeral wasn't until December 21st, 2024. A Rainbow family text sent by a man who had talked to Gloss's sister said his family was not made aware of his death until 2 months earlier. They were told that he died in Ukraine. We do not know if he participated in the war. They did not provide details. We do not know if he participated in the war. How is he, bro? What? I guess maybe this is. How do you not know if he participated in the war? He sent message, didn't he? It said he sent messages in their little group chat about him being there. I assume. And if he di- if he died in Ukraine, he went to Russia and he dies in Ukraine. Like, I think it's a very fair assumption that he did. This seems bananas to me. I wonder how she feels about, because like she graduated in 1992, which was right around the end of the Cold War. So like I assume that she's has a certain distaste for Russia, I would assume, or at least favors the US and our allies over Russia. So I wonder how she feels about her son. I don't know if any of this is the case. She could be a complete lunatic, but like it wouldn't surprise me if she was like a somewhat more moderate leaning conservative, and then she has this kind of hippie-ish son who gets tricked by who gets sold a bill of lies by the right-wing media apparatus, the same exact one that probably got her in power, that the Russians are actually the good guys, the Ukrainians are the bad guys, and that he should give his life away to go support Russia trying to invade Ukraine. I I wonder if there's some really cruel, really, really cruel irony there. Um, Maybe. Obviously, a woman losing her son is not good. This guy dying nobody dying like this is a good. I'm sure he was just the sympathy over contempt, right? I have sympathy that he was duped into doing this. I don't have contempt that he was an idiot and believes the wrong thing. Um, and it's a tragedy. It is definitely a tragedy, but it is fascinating that there are people in the CIA right now, top level CIA directors, whose relatives and whose son went to go fight for Russia against Ukraine when Ukraine's supposed to be our ally after we've just spent the last four, however many years, really since 2013, but especially in the last handful of years, um, helping them fight off the Russian invaders. So this story is wild to me. And I think it's not going to be like a super national headline-y story only because she's not the be top head CIA director. I think the fact that she's only a deputy director and also only the deputy director for whatever her thing was, digital something. Because it's not the big boy it's not going to get as much attention as it might otherwise would. Even though I don't think it really is it. Does it change the significance of the story if it's the head CIA director or if it's one of the deputy directors? I don't really think so, but I think it makes it less headliney for sure.